wedding. I canceled the wedding after I overheard them say, "It's just a shame she's bringing so much baggage to the marriage." My stomach lurched. Baggage? My student loans? My eccentric but loving family? My past relationship that ended amicably 3 years ago? I peeked around the corner of the beautifully decorated barn, heart pounding, and saw my fiancé, Tom, and his mother, Patricia, locked in hushed conversation. Patricia patted his hand, a smug smile playing on her lips. "Well, dear," she continued, her voice dripping with condescension, "at least the prenup protects you." Prenup. We'd never discussed a prenup, not once. The blood drained from my face. My carefully constructed world of wedding favors and seating charts crumbled around me. This wasn't about my baggage. This was about control, about ensuring I wouldn't get a penny if things went south, which, judging by this conversation, they clearly expected to. Tears pricked my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. Instead, a cold, hard fury settled in my chest. I walked towards them, my heels clicking on the wooden floor, a sound that suddenly felt like the hammer of a judge. They both looked up, startled. Patricia's smile faltered, replaced by a look of thinly veiled panic. Tom, however, looked relieved. "Tom," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "We need to talk." He stood up, his face pale. "Honey, what's wrong?" He tried to take my hand, but I pulled away. "I overheard you and your mother," I said, meeting his gaze, "talking about my baggage and the prenup I apparently knew nothing about." He stammered, trying to explain, but I cut him off. "Don't," I said, holding up a hand. "Just don't. It's over." Patricia gasped, sputtering about misunderstandings. I ignored her, focusing on Tom. "I loved you," I said, my voice cracking just slightly. "But I love myself more, and I deserve more than to be treated like a liability." Then I did something I never thought I'd do. I grabbed the nearest bottle of champagne, the expensive vintage Tom had insisted on, and poured it over his head, the bubbly liquid cascading down his face and soaking his expensive suit. The sweet scent mixed with the bitter taste of betrayal. Turning on my heel, I walked away, leaving them dripping in champagne and stunned silence. I didn't cry until I was safely back in my apartment, surrounded by the things that truly mattered: my friends, my family, and the freedom I almost gave away. The next morning, I canceled the caterer, the florist, the band. It was the most expensive breakup of my life, but also the most liberating. And you know what? It was worth every penny.